Welcome back. China and the United States promised to cooperate more closely in efforts to combat climate change. This follows a two-day visit to China by U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. Alan Booknia reports.
The two countries issued a joint statement today after Kerry met with President Xi Jinping and other Chinese leaders Friday. China and the United States are the biggest sources of emissions of carbon dioxide and other gases that cause the atmosphere to trap solar heat. Scientists warn that can alter the climate, leading to extreme weather conditions such as drought and strong storms.
President Xi and President Obama have joined in agreeing that we both have a special role to play in reducing those emissions.
Today, Kerry toured a plant in Beijing, owned by a U.S.-based engine manufacturer, to take a look at technologies that produce more efficient engines. Kerry said the two countries made a unique cooperative effort in moving forward ahead of next year's United Nations Conference on Climate Change, where a new international climate agreement is the goal.
China and the United States will put an extra effort into exchanging information and discussing policies that will help both of us to be able to develop and lead on the standards that need to be announced yet next year for the global climate change agreement.
Last year, Beijing and Washington launched the USChina Climate Change Working Group. They promised progress in 5 areas: reducing vehicle emissions, advancing electric power grids, capturing carbon emissions, gathering greenhouse gas data, and building efficiency. Alan Booknia, TVB News.
The approval by the Town Planning Board to rezone part of the central Harbourfront for military use has sparked management and enforcement concerns. The Commissioner of Police, Andy Zheng, will meet with PLA officials later to see whether assistance is needed to provide security at that site. Rachel Lung has more.
Last year, a group of activists forced their way into the People's Liberation Army Central Barracks to voice their opposition to the government's proposal to turn some nearby land into a military site. Yesterday, the Town Planning Board approved the rezoning of part of the central Harbourfront for use by the PLA as a military berth. There was also the promise that the site, measuring 0.3 hectares in the area, will be open to the public when it is not in use by the PLA. Police Commissioner Andy Zheng said the force will provide assistance depending on the circumstances.
Now, the management of such places is the responsibility of the garrison, as stipulated by the relevant law. But this time the pier will be somewhat different to other land managed by the garrison because it will be opened during certain times. Whilst the management of such places is the responsibility of the garrison, it is the responsibility of police to take action should there be a crime or should there be a breach of the peace.
Zhang also said the police will make sure the APEC finance ministers meeting, which will take place in Hong Kong in September, will not be interrupted by the Occupy Central movement. He hopes those participating in the Occupy Central movement will let the police know where they will hold demonstrations as soon as possible. He also reminded members of the public to think about the impact their actions will have on the society. Rachel Ling, TVB News.
Chairman of the Standard Working Hours Committee says since the statutory minimum wage came into effect 3 years ago, the problem of low-paid employees working overtime without pay has actually gone down. But Leung Chi-hung reckons that a standard working hours policy may actually hurt these workers' income. Ronnie Samtani explains.
The Standard Working Hours Committee has held 9 consultation sessions with business organizations and labor unions. Speaking to TVB News today, Committee Chairman Leung Chi-hung admitted that the committee is facing challenges in the consultation process.
Of course, we realize that Hong Kong is a free economy. It depends on a lot of time on hard work, and hard work means people have to work longer than their expected time. On the other hand, if our workers are not properly protected, then they are not going to work efficiently. It will also affect the employers. So the two sides have to come to a good balance.
Lung added that many people often confuse standard working hours with maximum working hours. He explained that standard working hours doesn't mean that you work less. Instead, you should be compensated for working more hours. And that maximum working hours means you can't work more than an agreed amount of time. The statutory minimum wage came into effect 3 years ago. Lung says the committee will need to consider how the statutory minimum wage, together with standard working hours, will impact low-paid workers. He said with the minimum wage in effect, the problem of low-paid workers working overtime without pay has virtually disappeared. But he's worried that with a standard working hours policy in place, some employees may end up earning less. Lung gave an example, saying that watchmen at buildings now usually work 12-hour shifts, but this may not be allowed under the standard working hours policy, and the number of daily work shifts may have to be increased. And employers may choose to get rid of some workers or just lock up their building's main doors at night in order to cut costs. The committee plans to host around 40 consultation sessions to gauge the public's opinion before it launches a second round of public consultation next year. Ronnie Samtani, TVB News.
All right, Chris, what exciting sports action do you have for us today?
We have news, of course, from the Olympics, so let's get straight to it. At the Sochi Games, Lizzie Yarnold captured Britain's first gold medal. And as Jameson Wong shows us, Yarnold dominated the women's skeleton event and became the Olympics' newest star.
And finally, the Hong Kong Standard Chartered Marathon is tomorrow. Experts say the cooler weather is suitable for running, but the rain may affect competitors. Ronnie Samtani again.
On the eve of the big day, runners from the Hong Kong track team prepare for the 10-kilometer race. They've been doing short 15-minute jogs and basic stretching to make sure they are all warmed up for Sunday. The Hong Kong Observatory expects it to rain tomorrow. However, experts say runners shouldn't wear heavy rain gear. Hong Kong Baptist University Associate Professor of Physical Education Lobo Lui said wearing a raincoat will stop the heat being released from the body while running. Meanwhile, the police began closing roads this evening. There will be road closures and traffic diversions at various locations on Hong Kong Island, Kowloon, and the New Territories to make way for the half and full marathon events. Competitors running the full marathon will go from Tsim Sha Tsui through to Stonecutters Bridge, Ching Ma Bridge, Ting Kau Bridge, and Tsing Kwai Highway before ending at Victoria Park. The southbound lane of the Western Harbour Crossing and the Connaught Road West flyover will be closed in phases from 11:45 p.m. tonight. On Sunday at 12:45, parts of the West Kowloon area, including Nathan Road, will also be closed. And after 1:30, traffic will be diverted at the Eastern Corridor, which is the starting point for the 10-kilometer run. Ronnie Samtani, TVB News.
And that's our news. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Good night.
Hello everyone, it was cloudy today, and at 5 p.m. the winter monsoon continued to affect the South China coast. Today's temperatures range from 9.7 to 13 degrees, and the current temperature is 13 degrees Celsius, with the relative humidity standing at 83%. The cold weather warning is now in force. So Freddie, how's the weather tomorrow?
Oh.
Cloudy with a few rain patches, mist patches at night. Temperatures will range from 13 to 16 degrees. There will be some sunny periods on Monday and Tuesday. Tomorrow's air quality health index will range from low to moderate. And the maximum UV index forecast for tomorrow will be about 2. Now here's the latest global weather update. Rain in Shanghai, showers in Taipei and Xiamen. Showers in Guangzhou, foggy in Macau, cloudy in Chengdu. Cloudy in Beijing and Seoul, sunny in Tokyo. Showers in Bangkok and Manila, sunny in Ho Chi Minh City. Cloudy in Kuala Lumpur, thunderstorms in Singapore, showers in Jakarta. Sunny in New Delhi and Karachi, sunny intervals in Mumbai. Showers in Cairo and Nairobi. Sunny intervals in Brisbane, rain in Sydney, showers in Melbourne, sunny in Auckland. Cloudy in Toronto, snow in New York. Rain in Vancouver and San Francisco, sunny in Los Angeles. Sunny in London, showers in Paris, Amsterdam and Frankfurt, cloudy in Zurich. And that's the weather. Have a great evening.